Hi everybody, my name is Adam Meyer. I'm back. I'm going to go over ES today and what happened in the chart and also what the outlook is for the rest of the week going forward. So let's get into it. All right, over here in the ES chart, we have the daily time frame. I did make a video on Twitter this morning basically describing what I expect for the week going forward. And even on the weekly time frame now, I basically talked about the consolidation that we're seeing in price, where we're stuck between this high and this low here, and we're just consolidating. It's not really gravitating towards any direction, you know what I mean? We have this SIBI from here to here, this gap here, and then all these daily candles are just going back and forth. It's not really picking a direction. I think a lot of it is to do with the uncertainty of the banks of, okay, what banks are going to fall apart? Are they going to or are they not? And also the Fed rates, like what's actually happening on like the macro picture of the fundamentals. But that's why there's a lot of high resistance liquidity runs, in my opinion, that we're not really seeing too much expansion in any area. Like, it's still tradable, don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of trades to be done and a lot of things to be made because smart money is still going to move price around. But going over here onto the 4-hour time frame, we did have a wick down into the BISI from the Sunday move, also the Friday move. So that happened there, and then now we just consolidated basically in this range over here in the 1 hour. So there were trades within it. There's a short this morning that I actually took myself, and then there was like another position over here. So we had the high made here. I wanted to see if this wick was going to hold and then wanting to go higher up within this area, but price did want to start moving lower, and there was a lot of SMT with the other indices as well, so that made me put in my short. Let's go over here to the 15-minute time frame. So what are we seeing? We have these relative equal lows right here. So these are in my mind, and then those highs are in my mind. And I sent this up to my chat this morning, so if you're not in my chat, let me know. But we have this area here. Are we going to come up and retest here, and go long, or are we going to come down, retest here, and go lower? Obviously, it retested there and went lower. And I personally got stopped out in this trade. I'll show you why. So when price worked its way down lower in here, I was really just waiting on price. Like, what does it want to tell me? Does it want to keep going lower? Does it want to keep going higher? So it did break down. It broke down lower, and we started getting 3 consecutive candles closing. We had a 15-minute close up here with this high making a higher high. There's SMT as well. And we have clear targets at this low and then down within here, and also the 5-minute BISI. So it's like when we are trading, where is the money going? Did we have liquidity taken? And what is structure telling us? Is it giving us a proper entry, and where is the correct placement of the stop loss? That's something I got wrong today with the stop loss placement. I thought it would have been good to have it above the opening range, opening price from 930. So I had my stop loss above the opening range price at this high here, and the spread barely hit my stop loss on this. So I had my stop loss right here above this high, and then it came back up and hit that area. But it's like, why did the trade even play out? You know what I mean? Why were we targeting lower? It's because of all these confirmations coming in, bearishness there, and our targets and our eyes were down at this low and down at this gap down within here. So we go down to the 1-minute time frame, and this is where I took my entry. It was basically price was trading down and came back up in this range, and I'm like, okay, what is price going to do right now? Are we going to bounce up and go higher to give us a long, or are we going to break down and go lower? I was favoring the lows. If I had to put money on it, I was going to go to the lows, which I did. So price broke down lower, and I started entering within this fair value gap here and have my stop loss up above the swing high. Over here in the 3-minute as well, you can see that we had this fair value gap from here to here, and I wanted my stop loss above that swing there. So ideally, going forward again, the best placement of the stop loss is going to be above the order block, which is this 1-minute candle here, and also above the breaker from here to here. So leaving this range open, stop loss up in here, and then sticking to the 5-minute time frame and really just paying attention to price. Like, what is it doing? So really the overall concept of this short that did play out is that we have our eyes down here. Where is the target? We're going to focus on the good and all that. We're not going to focus on the bad. We're not going to be afraid of the stop loss getting hit. We're going to focus on what we want price to go to, and then we are going to take advantage of the situation, of the opportunity that's presenting itself, because that's all we can do. Price gravitates lower, and it comes down below these lows. It hits the NWOG, which is this turquoise box I have here, and then price keeps trading down. And accumulated during lunch. I didn't trade during lunch. Yes, there was some really nice setups. I mean, there was SMT at the lows. We had a break of structure. We had a retest in here, and then we had an internal liquidity sweep here before the move up higher. This was ideal to me as well. I probably would have taken this if I did trade the lunch session, which I didn't. I didn't even trade the 1 p.m. session. I traded the afternoon session as well. So we'll get into that in a minute. But go here to the 2-minute time frame. You can see that we came down. We traded within here. As it starts to leave, it did tap up into a breaker as well, and then go up into the 5-minute gap that I have here for this area as well. So that area was a point of interest for me, even when we did get back up into this range, and also this one here as well within this area for the later part of the afternoon session. Well, basically just started the afternoon session actually. So we get down in here. You see that 5-minute gap? It comes down. There was SMT with YM because I know YM made the lower low over here, but ES made the higher low. So that's another confirmation. We start to trade up higher. We come down and then we retest within this area and then continue long up there. I know some people took that trade, but I personally did not take that trade. I was sitting on my hands really waiting for the 3:15 to 3:45 time, and then that's what I was waiting for. So what do we have coming into the 3 o'clock hour? Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Notice this massive bullish dildo candle right here. We come up into this area, and I was looking for the 3 o'clock candle to open and then trade down a little bit, coming into this area and holding as a form of support to continue up higher. And a lot of the confirmations were there that we did want to reach higher. We had this high up here. We had the 50% of this 4-hour wick if we did want to get some more up, higher up into there. And then obviously up in here and possibly into the 50% of the daily wick that's up there as well. So I was watching this 15-minute gap, as you can tell. Let me pull it up. I was watching this 15-minute gap. I wanted to see how this gap here was going to hold. So I'm going to look through the candles and use this inverse gap as a potential form of support with bullish order flow with this fair value gap that's here as well. So I had the higher time frame in mind based on this trade situation. So we were in a weird situation, honestly. We had these equal highs just taken out, and then we had a 5-minute change in delivery on the 5-minute right here. And then we also had the NWOG that's right here in this turquoise box. So that was going to act as basically a speed bump. I was looking at that as a speed bump if it wanted to get through it or not. But I'll get down to these lower time frames to show you why I was entering this trade as well. So we have this gap all the way right here, and then we come down, we come down, we come down, we come down. It's taking out all these people right here. And then we have these equal highs that are sitting right up above this area there. And we go down to the 2-minute time frame, and you can notice that we did shift down. We've rejected that area nicely. We had that 15-minute gap I was just talking about, and then we have this high there. And then even on NASDAQ, there was nice equal highs in the 30-minute where we could get up into a 30-minute gap as well. So I was also bullish on that as well. So that all lined up with myself. So go down to the 1-minute time frame. This is where I took my trades again in the afternoon. Loaded up with another 1% risk on this trade right here. So it came down, took out this low, took out this low, took out this low. Like I always talk about the 1, 2, 3 divergence move. So it's got 1, 2, 3. We start to shift in market delivery. And you can go down even here to the 15-second time frames. You can really get down deep into this one. We come down and we break market structure above this high. So just a push up above this high is confirmation for me. But then we broke up again, and that's another confirmation. We still have these equal highs up there. We've retested the high of this 15-minute gap. You see that blue box right there? That's how precise this shit can get. You know what I mean? So that's where my entries were. I was targeting up higher within that range to keep going up into there. So once we broke back up into this range, I noticed that we had some SMT at these highs with the other indices. So I moved my stop loss because I had it down from here. I had it down below this low, down within here, down below this low, targeting up into here, up into here. So I was going to take most of my position off at this high, right within there at a 2-to-1, and then I was going to let the rest go. But I moved my stop loss up to here because I wanted to reduce my risk after we got up into this area. So I'm being mindful of this position. So after that 1% risk, it comes down to a half percent risk. So I lost 0.5% on this trade here after losing 1% on this trade here. So this was actually a losing day for me, and I understand why. But I follow my rules in every single trade I took. So am I going to be ashamed of myself? Hell no, because my positions play out over time, and it's all that matters. You know, take a coin, flip it 10 times, and see how many times you're going to lose. But it's all random. You know what I mean? It's you're taking a sample of trades, and then you're going to put it in. So look at the end of the week, at the end of the month, or the end of every quarter. Look at your progress after that, and then really judge yourself based on that, not by trade basis. I followed my plan with this one. Stop loss, I basically journaled that my stop loss placed a little higher. It doesn't need to be as tight. I was looking at the 3-minute time frame. That's why my stop loss was above that swing high. But it could have been a little bit higher. That's completely fine. I'm okay with missing out on that and taking the loss. This one here, I took a loss on this one. Even though it came up in here, it could have kept running. I would have made my money back from this morning plus more if it did go up to TP. But I still have the rest of the week. I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's a really good news week, as I posted on Twitter this week. So that's what we're going for. Price did here then change in the state of delivery. Again, it shifted down lower. And I did have in my journal, I have written down, I had bullish targets and I had sell side targets. So I had this as a sell side target at 40.08. I had that written down for sell side over here. And then I had buy side at 40.34.25. So 40.34.25, which was 34.25, which was right here above this high up within that area. And then I had 40.27. That was right here if it wanted to come back up above that high. That's where most of the position would have came off anyway. So that's what I had written down. But then the sell side, it's like, okay, where are my sell side targets? Where are my buy side targets if they happen? But the nearest sell side for me was this gap here, this 5-minute gap right within here. It's a draw on liquidity. That's where my eyes go to. They go to these 5-minute gaps. They go to the 15-minute gaps. And then you can see how they act as forms of support and resistance and draws on liquidity. And then we had this low here that was taken internally from all the stop loss that are trailed there. So it's like, why are these lows even here? Why are these targets? It's like price is moving up all throughout the day. Everybody that's in longs right here has their stop loss down below this low. They're going to come take that shit. You know what I mean? They're going to come rebalance the market if it wants to change in delivery. You know what I mean? So go down here to the 1-minute time frame. After this area did not hold, so it did not hold from here. After this shifted down, and especially after this one, coming up into here to retest this area to then come down is what I was seeing there. Then we came down to fill in that gap. So basically, after this 5-minute and we start to see the structure shift, then it's ready to go. It's like green light. We're ready to come down. Even the 2-minute time frame here, this bearish candle basically wiped out those buyers. It's like, okay, it's going to switch down. Why did I not take that trade to make my losses back? Because it's basically I'm not in the right state of mind. I just had 2 losses today. I'm down 1.5%. I don't need to take any more trades. You know what I mean? I'm going to be okay. I can sit on the sidelines and just watch things play out, and I can just journal the trades that happen going forward. And that's how we grow and become successful as traders. Not financial advice, but that's just the way to do it. That's how I was taught, and that's how I'm going to continue to do it and continue to grow and go forward. But let's get into more projections here of what we can see here in price going forward. Let's go to the daily time frame actually. So we are consolidating in this range. We don't really know where we want to go. 2-day time frame. We have this volume imbalance that I've been mentioning, and we are holding this SIBI that's within here as a form of support. It's looking like I do want to see higher prices, but if it does not want to happen, it is starting to look weak within here on the 4-hour. So if this does really want to start folding over and coming down, I'm going to be targeting this area here, then down below these lows, and then all of these lows here, because we're getting into like a really nice retail bullshit wedges. I don't even know how you call it anymore, but like, dude, I think it just melt right down through everybody if it just wants to do that. But ideally, I want to see if we do want to get up above this high before more accumulation. Maybe it does bounce around in this range some more. Maybe it does something like this and comes down, or if it just keeps ripping up. It's really hard to tell right now. I'm not trying to guess and predict these ranges right now. I'm really just observing what price wants to do. Does it want to go lower and close bearish and keep coming lower towards these lows down here? Or does it want to close bullish and come up and close above this high into these highs up here, and then eventually possibly even up into there? Like, it's either or. At this point, I'm really just sitting on the sidelines and just waiting to see what happens. But I am a long-term investor. I do have faith in the economy. But if these banks and shit really do go under, then it's gonna get freaking ugly in the market. That's part of the reason why I think it's going sideways too. But yeah, love you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Take it easy.